live here in downtown Denison, Texas tonight.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are here in the Podcast on Main Studios.
It's been a little while.
Man, it has. We got new lights.
I know, we got lights. I like it.
Yeah,
I like
this is
it.
pretty sweet here. I like
Looking
this.
all bright.
I like this. Yeah, so it's been a minute. We hopped on here not too long ago.
It always feels longer than it actually is, but
Yeah.
we need to ramp it up.
Yeah, I know. And we always talk about doing this every week, but we still haven't made it there just yet. It's kind of like the live sell at Main Street Mall. We haven't quite made it there yet.
We'll get there, though.
We just want to work a few
Working
bugs
it
out
up.
and then get that going. And I see a lot of people down here.
I know, it's good.
You
a
know-
lot of cars out parked.
We're here tonight with Peak Nutrition.
Hello.
We're going to talk a little bit about hydration.
Yeah. Somebody really needs a lecture on that. Right?
It's summer's coming to an end,
Yeah,
but
still
it's
hot.
still hot out there.
And we're having another heat spike coming this next week.
Yeah, I just saw that pop up. They said that was coming. So yeah, it's gonna get hot again. So
Here it comes.
I had a little incident. Week and a half ago?
Yeah, about a week and a half.
Almost 2 weeks ago.
Your memory is bad.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, I thought this would be a good opportunity to kind of put the word out there of why you should stay hydrated. Right, Stuart? I mean, you see me, usually I'll come by there and get a hydration drink. I usually stop by there and grab one before I hop on air because, I feel dehydrated. And, before I had my little incident, guess what? I didn't go by there.
No.
And 2 days in a row, I was working outside, man, and it got me. I spent 2 days in the hospital. So, yeah. So
Yeah.
I should have stopped by there.
Should have.
Yeah.
What did they actually diagnose you with besides with severe dehydration? Did they call it anything else?
Yeah, I did. Was it TGA? I had transient global amnesia as well. Yeah. So
He
like,
was stuck in a loop. His wife was telling us he was walking in a circle, and he kept coming back to her. Were we talking about marketing? She's like, "What are you doing right now?"
Well, one
I
of the
did it like
things
8 times. So
people don't realize is that there's actually a little bit of a difference between dehydration and electrolyte imbalance. So dehydration is just basically losing more water than you're taking in, whereas electrolyte imbalance is when those electrolytes get out of whack. So your sodium, your magnesium, potassium, those can actually mimic low blood sugar, confusion, slurred speech, not remembering,
Not knowing which street you're on.
So it literally is, and it's actually, it precursors stroke and death.
well,
So
that's yeah. So and that's one thing that they brought up as well. So I don't have any traces left of it. So that's a good thing.
Good.
So
That's awesome.
Thankfully.
yeah. So got lucky there. But yeah, it was a wild experience. And so I know this is rude. I forgot.
Yeah.
You should introduce yourselves.
Okay. Well, my name is Alyssa Ladebor. I am the owner of Peak Nutrition.
Yeah.
We've been here in town now for over 6 years, which is
That's crazy.
Wild.
Yeah, I used to be right up the street here.
we did.
Yeah.
We were over on the 500 block.
Yeah.
And now we're at 120 South Burnett.
Burnett. Yep. Matter of fact, we're just catty corner
Literally.
here from where we're at. I mean,
Yeah, we can see y'all.
yeah, I can actually see you.
I was like, that's the fastest commute ever from there to there.
Right.
Yeah, just a few steps over. So you see why I stop by there all the time. And Stuart,
Stuart Kemp, work at Peak Nutrition.
that's it, man. He's straightforward, doesn't mess around. That's him.
That's right.
He's our resident afternoon tea tender,
Yeah.
Monday through Friday. And if there is ever somebody to go to, who will move you out of your comfort zone to try something new, it is definitely Stuart. So if you are feeling like walking on the wild side, he's
Yeah,
the one to go see.
So that's what I did. I went in there one day. I was like, okay, here's what I'm looking for. Dehydrated. My voice dries out. Blah blah. And you went through there, so we just kind of started mixing some things together, and we came up with I don't even know what the heck it is, but I know I can walk in there and you know exactly what I want. So
Yeah, that's always
Call that
nice.
the Bubba Special.
yeah, the Bubba special. So if you want the Bubba
You got
special,
a few
hop in.
specials up and down Main
Yeah,
Street. Bubba.
but here's what I really, really respected about y'all. So you made that drink for me. I didn't even know what the heck it was, right? We were just kind of throwing like a spur of the moment type deal. And you were kind of listening to me and throwing stuff together. And the next time I went in there, and it was a few weeks later, but one of the girls that was in there with you that day, she was in there, and I was like, oh man, Stuart's not here. I said, he made me some drink and I forgot what it was. And she goes, "Oh yeah, I remember that was this, and then, and then bam, she came up with it. And I thought, man, that's pretty cool. She was listening and understood.
A+ customer service.
So I thought that was pretty cool. So
Yeah. We work really hard to
Thumbs
try
up
to
there.
customize and work with what people need. We do deal with a lot of people who are dealing with different types of things that they need, sporting events, health issues.
Yeah.
We're looking to lose weight, looking to gain weight. So we have a lot of conversations with people. So we customize really for anybody.
Yeah, which is awesome. Yeah. And the fact that you can come right back in and be like, what was that? And you're like, boom, boom, boom. And that's exactly what it was. Heck yeah. And that's great. That's great.
Yeah, we do.
There's not a lot of people like that around anymore.
No, we have communications between us about what we give somebody, make sure, because not everybody comes in at the same time.
Of course.
Or like if one of us are gone for a day or something like
Yeah.
that, somebody takes their spot. That way, hey, this is so-and-so gets this, and this. Just
that's
FYI
cool.
if they come in. So, and also if we're not around, we always call each other up, say, hey, remember what you got
Yeah.
this person.
That's good
right
to have
here,
open
but-
communication like that too.
yeah, and all that starts at the top. I always say that. Man, that's always kudos to management and ownership. And it trickles down. I mean,
I ran a bar in Dallas for 10 years.
yeah.
So you know
about
I was a real, and that's what it is.
That's
It's customer
tougher.
service. It's having
That's a little
regulars.
tougher, for
It's, but it is that extra mile.
For sure.
If you've ever
Every time.
done something like that, it's remembering that person's order. It's remembering their names or having conversations, communicating so that the next person knows. Those are all those just little.
those little things, man.
simplest
That's
thing of having you see the customer come in and by the time they hit the counter, you have their blue moon on the counter and they're like, oh wow, what? All right, I remember.
We write sayings on the back of our cups.
Yeah,
My thing
no,
is,
we-
it's just, and
Yeah, I
I've
do
literally
love that.
done that since we first opened because I was too poor to put any kind of anything else on it. So I started writing stuff.
Yeah,
more
but see, that's
meaningful, though.
authentic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
more
just
meaningful.
like like in real estate or whatever. You're giving out letters. I like to handwrite
Yeah.
letters versus getting something that's typed up or
That makes a
whatever.
big difference.
So it does. It means a lot more.
Yeah.
And when I get those cups or whatever, I always I know that it always says Peak loves you on one side, and then it has a little saying or whatever on the other.
I have
so.
people come in, they're like, how'd you know?
Yeah, no, for real though.
I said, well, apparently the universe felt the need to give
There
you
you
this
go.
cup
That's
today.
what you needed. That's
The
exactly
universe
what
is
you
talking,
needed.
so that's pretty cool. So that's why we're here talking about
Absolutely.
hydration, and so I just want to spread the word that no matter how tough you are, it'll knock you out.
You'll go
Trust
down
me.
if you spend too many hours out in the sun, for
That's
sure.
right. That's
Well,
right.
we
Oh,
have
go
a
ahead.
lot of people who we hear it on a regular basis. They're like, oh, I drink so much water.
Mm-hmm.
All I drink is water. I drink so much water, and so when I ask them to start actually counting their ounces, it turns out to be significantly less.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so your body is like 75% of that, and if you don't put that in there, you're technically just walking around dehydrated all the
All
time.
the time.
So people think they're just going to stick like electrolytes on top of it. I'm like, well, you also need to drink that water.
Yeah.
So we were talking about like
Yeah.
what adequate hydration is for somebody. Like I say, aim for half your body weight of ounces of water in the summertime because you will lose more in Texas. That's just
yeah.
what that's like.
And it stays out too.
Yeah.
So just-
And people freak out. They're like, that's so much water. I'm like, put a pint glass of water next to your bed. When you first get up in the morning, most people mouth breathe at some point. Mm-hmm. So
I think I was
you're
just mouth breathing.
You're most dehydrated, really,
Super dry.
right then.
Yeah.
So you'll slam that pint glass of water, and now you're already 16 ounces into your day.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's little things like that.
I got a 64 ounce water bottle, and I make sure I drink at least 2 of those a day. And that's when I feel the best. Yes, I may pee every 5 minutes.
and it is, and you need a day before, right? So
Yeah.
if what I
Day
should have
before,
done
you
is
gotta lead
the
up,
day
lead
before or 2 days before I knew I was going to be working outside for those days, I should have swung by and hydrated. And there's something I always think about and wonder is like, okay, so this water, everything, obviously you shouldn't drink tap water.
Yeah.
I hope everyone knows that.
Yeah. Please,
I don't
please
care
don't
what
drink tap water.
town
Do not.
or whatever, just you probably shouldn't be drinking it.
Not at all.
But so we have to get filtered water, reverse osmosis. We know reverse osmosis it's what dead water is what they call it, right?
Yeah.
So there's really nothing.
You're not having any minerals or anything else in there either. So
Well, the weird thing about it is
Yeah.
I started looking into it because I was finding out that a lot of people were basically saying they were still felt so thirsty.
Yeah.
So I started doing research into spring water versus filtered water. And the reality is spring water has trace minerals in it.
It still does. Yeah.
So, and those trace minerals, though, from most natural springs are actually super beneficial for the body.
Oh, for sure.
Because they actually, like your bones actually need some of those as selenium and magnesium and things like that. So, whereas ultra filtered water has none of those, it actually will start to, if you do lots and lots of that, will actually start to pull those minerals out.
Correct.
Like
So it's like osmosis. It
So that's
literally is
why
like
my wife
osmosis.
makes me drink spring water at the
There you go.
house. So that's
So there is a difference.
Yeah, and I know when we got reverse osmosis, I also had to buy the minerals and put them in the drops and all that stuff. But I was always just wondering, like, this bottled water where we,
There's still out talking about, you can tell by the different cap colors on bottled water what it's made by. Like, I don't know, don't quote me on it, but green means certain things, clear means certain things. As far as when you go to Walmart and on your waters,
Interesting.
the cap color means it's a certain, either it's spring water or this has got alkalines. Or,
Which I think
yeah.
you would be right, because if you look at labeling, like even on the front, labeling will have different colors based on distilled, spring, or filtered.
Yeah. I
So-
just never paid attention to the cap.
They are required.
neither.
They're required to post it clearly
Yeah.
as to what it is, because with babies, the distilled water thing is really important.
Yeah.
So, yeah, most people don't think about those questions though. That's a lot
not at
of
all.
Yeah. But I've always wondered about that, just
Drinking
regular
out
water.
the sink.
Nowadays.
But you said you got dehydrated during the summer, but a lot of people don't realize that you can dehydrate during the winter too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
'cause you're running heaters, so he's absolutely right. It'll pull moisture from your skin.
Yeah.
So it literally, so if you're somebody who's cold blooded and you're walking around in a heater all the time, you think about why your skin gets dry, why you need more lotion in the wintertime. You literally are losing
Yeah.
through your skin.
So that's that day before I went out, I noticed like a little bit before I was like, I wasn't sweating,
Yeah.
and so that's what messed me up though, because I thought, well, it's not that hot. I mean, I knew it was hot, but I was like, I'm not that hot because I'm not sweating.
Thank you, Chris.
So, but obviously that was I wouldn't think at the time. I wasn't thinking like
So
that's
you were
a
there
sign.
the day before. You were already not sweating after the first day.
Probably.
Okay,
I don't. I mean,
actually, one of the signs of when you're starting to ramp up into severe dehydration is
Not sweating.
no sweating.
And then you get that
So
cold
you
skin
probably
feel.
were already in that, like you were at like, hey, we're at like orange level the first day, and then went out and did it again.
yeah.
But was like, ain't
So-
nothing wrong. I just don't know where I am.
Yeah.
But the thing, it sounds disgusting, but the best way that you can tell that your body's dehydrated is by the color of your urine.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Absolutely.
And that's another thing too.
How often you do, too.
Right.
Yeah, and how often, I've always heard that and kind of paid attention, but for whatever, those 2 days, I mean, I knew I was hot and sweaty, but grew up here in Texas and
Yeah.
always out in the heat, so it never really bothered me. But now at 51,
Yeah. You got to pay attention.
You gotta
those
pay
things, man.
attention.
Come
But
on,
people
man.
don't realize, like, you can just in normal processing, walking around, you can lose 3 to 6 liters of water a day,
yeah. I sit
and that's
down
not
and
even
lose that.
exercising.
Yeah.
So, like, that's just walking from here to there. That's just being, and you have parents and families and all these people who go sit at something outside, like tonight. Even
Burning
it's
up.
still in the 80s. They're still sweating.
And it's still humid. and,
Yeah.
you know.
So all of those things are still factors, and then they go out for dinner and have a Coke.
Or you've been
Yeah.
drinking.
Or you know,
You've had
oh
some
goodness.
beers
Yeah,
in
or
you,
some
you know,
alcohol.
I don't know how
beers
people
in
make
you.
pub crawls in the summertime around
I
here and
know,
don't
it's
die.
crazy.
I used to when I was younger. There's no way I could do it now.
That's why shout out to the zombie crawl.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, in the evening, right?
That's
Yeah.
right.
But that's true, though. I mean, if you're going to go out and party, make sure you hydrate day before, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Well, we actually day before is a great time to do it, and also too
Before you
like,
start.
Yeah,
During.
yes,
Yeah.
during.
I always do a drink and a water, drinking water, drinking water.
Well,
That's
what people, a lot of
He's
people,
only
people
way I'll
don't
ever
realize.
feel
Fine.
Hey, that's what I try to
I
do is
was
drinking
double
water.
shot of tequila, water, double shot of tequila, water. If you actually pace with water bottles in between your drinks, he's not wrong there. That actually does help, and reduce the sugar content. This
Yeah.
is a
don't
bar
have
hack.
mixers.
The
you know,
bar hack
things
is
like
reduce
that.
your sugar content, because part of the reason why you're so hungover
Is
your body's dehydrated, but your
Darker
blood
liquor.
sugar is also crashing.
Yeah.
So with your blood sugar crashing because of all the sugar in the mixers and stuff, and dehydration is one of the reasons why you feel so gnarly during hangover.
Like wine. I used to drink wine and I just couldn't do it because it just
headache.
A lot of sugar.
That's the
Right?
sign
That's
of
the-
dehydration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you got
Well,
headaches.
and
Yeah.
if you know of anybody who happens to be dehydrated, we have a hangover helper.
Oh, yeah.
That we do over there,
Nice.
and it's got a product specifically for helping to vasodilate within it helps to pull more oxygen into your bloodstream. It's called Nightworks. But that's something that we use for the headache part, and then we use hydration.
Is it like a nitrous
products.
kind of?
It is a nitric oxide booster. It's actually designed by a heart health doctor.
Interesting.
He was one of the 3 doctors who won the Nobel Prize for their work in nitric oxide and heart health.
Very cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Dr. Lou Ignaro.
Yeah.
So what's that? How would someone hop in and order that?
So you could walk in the door and walk up and order a hangover.
And
helper.
if they walk in, they're going, "Oh my God, you already know, right?"
We've had those moments. And you can look at someone and be like, "Oh, you need a little
yeah.
something extra today."
Yeah, I'm living proof it works.
Yeah,
It's
right.
actually, got to test it out and make sure that it
Absolutely.
actually works.
Yeah.
And after a night of drinking, drink it first thing in the morning. The next thing you know, not too much longer, your body starts to feel better.
Yeah, yeah. You start to even out. You're like,
Rocklahoma.
I'm all right. That's right.
He may have tested it last year at Rocklahoma. So.
Rocklahoma.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
But no, and constantly the idea too is I always tell people look, you can add a little bit more water,
Yeah.
sip on it, add a little bit more water. The idea is you want to get both of those products in there, the Nightworks, the hydration, and then add water. And so you're literally just kind of raising all those, levels up. And you will, I have literally 6 years worth of people who will attest to that thing.
Nice.
It's
Like
cool.
people will get the
I love
products
it. I
and
love
take it with them to other countries because they're like, I'm going to drink like a fish. I'm going to Mexico. I need to
Right.
bring this
Yeah.
with me."
Oh
Yeah, this
God,
needs to come
I
out.
remember going down to Mexico and like the first night, man, you just boom, you
Just come
go all the way bulletproof, and the next day, you're like the whole vacation, you're just I felt like
dead
crap. I
the
don't
whole
miss
time.
those days at all. So what should we do? Like day to day. Obviously drink water, but
Start off water in the morning, first thing.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is probably, he's right. That's probably the easiest hack that I tell people. I'm like, if you start off there, because people get this idea in their mind that they have to, they envision a gallon of water and that they have to drink it all at once.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, literally, if you look at your day, you're going to be up and walking around for 12 to 16 hours, depending upon your day. So put 16 ounces right there. You've already knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
Now drink another one somewhere when you walk past a water cooler. I set alarms on my phone sometimes if I'm getting bad about it, or on my watch. Like, hey,
Yeah, you start to do something, you kind of forget and don't think about it.
if you happen to be somebody who works out, even light workout, you'll find you're more thirsty. You'll take in more water. Now, mind you, you'll lose more water
Yeah.
too. But it's part of it is just tricking yourself into doing something. It's like any change.
Yeah.
Losing weight. It's about changing your eating and doing things in a consistent manner. Water is the same thing. Sometimes people travel around with a gallon jug and they'll just mark it like 8 a.m. So it's just figuring out what hack works for you and finding a way to get water consistently through your day,
yeah.
as opposed to drinking it at 8 o'clock at night, thinking you're going to suck down a gallon, and then you're up peeing all night long too.
Yeah.
All night.
No, we used to have one of those big. You can get them on Amazon or whatever.
Those
The big
hydro
jugs,
jugs,
yeah, and
yeah.
it shows like how your hours on there. And I actually have those, but it's up
Well-
on top of a cabinet somewhere.
I asked his wife, I was like, do we need to get him a big jug or something? She was like, we have 7.
We had like when she ordered the first ones, they were like way too big, or like big old gallon. Hell, you couldn't even walk around with it when it was full. But then we have the smaller ones.
Those are a
but-
little silly.
Well,
to
you
carry
can,
around,
but you can even just go to the store, grab a gallon jug of water. No one is going to, people talk, well, water toxicity. No one's getting water toxic on a gallon. Take it with you and drink it.
You get water toxic on a gallon if you drink it in an hour. But
Yeah, but the thing, but
don't
too,
drink
you're
it in an
talking
hour.
about like water toxicity is going to happen after you've depleted your electrolytes
Yeah.
because you flushed them all out of your body.
Yeah.
So this is a process to get water toxic, like it is to get dehydrated.
Absolutely.
So take that gallon jug with you and drink it. We have, if you're going to go out to the ball field, take that gallon jug with you. Take one along for everybody. You can bring, even bring something along for hydration. The problem is a lot of the products that people use to hydrate also contain a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
And that's where, and some sugars are good if
And
they're the
even
right
essential
kinds.
for that certain
Like-
time that you aren't. Yeah.
Yes, we have a product called CR7. This is specifically created more so for athletes.
Yeah.
It is NSF tested, rated for sport, but it also has a carbohydrate combo.
Shout out to Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah. But it literally is, it's created for endurance. So this is for the kid who's going to go run baseball for the next 4 hours, the guy who's going to go play soccer, the person who's running. You know, if you know you're going to be out doing something like that, that's going to take endurance, those simple carbohydrates help along with the electrolytes to do that.
Absolutely.
Our other product is more like, think Gatorade without any artificial flavors, colors, or sweeteners.
All the dyes that they have in Gatorade and everything else.
Yeah, it's just a big
That's why.
sugar. Yeah.
That's kind of my thing. Like our
Tastes
goal
good
is-
though.
It does.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm sure y'all, I mean, that stuff you make me, I mean, is way better.
Now,
if you're
I'm
gonna
going
do
to honestly
something-
say, though, like, if I'm really thirsty and I drink a Gatorade, I feel like I get the worst cotton mouth ever.
You
from
will.
it.
The thing about theirs is like it is typically like Gatorade because of the sugar content with the sodium content with everything else.
Yeah.
It almost feels like a soda.
Yeah.
You get that like highly flavored thing. So that's why it really has more to do with cutting out the processed sugars.
Yeah.
Getting rid of like those kinds of things, and it's okay to actually have water. in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, for sure.
Water's a good. Our
Water's
products.
great.
Our products are added to water.
Yeah.
I know fundamentally water is a thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Needs to
that's where it starts.
But you got a lot of people out there that don't like to drink water.
No.
I mean,
No, and I mean, yeah.
When people tell me, I hate the taste of water, I'm like, oh, man, come on now. Like,
Well, you'd be amazed.
Well, I have noticed that different waters have certain taste or even a texture, like even a milkiness to it or something. But it's just
Yeah, don't drink that water.
Yeah, if it has something like that, don't.
If it's slimy, don't drink it.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
drink that water.
I remember I took a sip of somebody's. I forgot what brand water bottle it was. They handed it to me, and I took a sip of it, and I was like, "Why's that thick?" I don't
They have
like
very
that.
different flavors. You'll notice that sometimes, even with like the artisanal waters, they have different content. Mineral Wells, Texas, crazy water. They have it rated in different levels by the amount of mineral content in there. If you get one of their like
Higher mineral content, for
that
sure.
stuff has it's like sucking on a penny.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you will know.
Yeah.
Well,
that you were
I've had
drinking
ones that were almost the smell was almost sulfuric
Yes,
and
okay.
smell like where I was like,
Wait a
"Ooh,
second. Wait a
yeah,
second.
like
What's going on here?
Oh, that's just a nice little ring.
Oh,
Sorry. That
just
distract
noticed
you?
that. Yeah, I was like, whoa, what's that? Bling, bling, bling. Yeah.
I'm gonna use
Okay.
that as my wedding ring.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, no. Well, and so what I usually just tell people, like, if you focus on getting something in there, if you're somebody who doesn't like the taste of water,
Yeah.
even go to the grocery store and grab one of those little Mio squeeze bottles. Kool-Aid makes them. There's 500 different varieties of those. Take them with you. When I go out to eat, I will bring a little squeeze bottle of monk fruit.
Yeah, that's
here,
what my
Yeah,
wife
and
does.
I get
yeah.
some lemons,
Yeah.
and I make my own lemonade.
Ah, yeah.
It's sugar-free,
Lemon and
calorie-free.
And
I
it takes
don't-
that monk fruit, man. It's
yeah,
just a little bit.
spot.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I'm missing out on stuff. Or bring your little Kool-Aid thing and squeeze that in there,
you
and
go.
then you don't feel like you're missing out on the soda factor.
True.
You know, so it's just kind of, you can get club soda at home, squeeze a little bit of that in. You got the carbonation, and you got that. So it's
I
just,
changed over to a lot of like when I want a soda, I go to seltzer water. I try not to drink. A lot of people think that seltzer water can be a complete replacement for water, though. But isn't it only like half as hydrating?
Believe
because
it or
sodium
not-
content and things in it.
Yeah, that was actually what I was going to ask. I was going to because I like Topo Chico. So
Yes, and Topo Chico's a mineral water. So if you
Correct.
think about mineral water and most seltzer waters, most of them, if they do have some sodium content, it's going to be pretty minimal. Your mineral water is going to have a little bit more trace minerals, just like your artisanal water. So think about it that way. It's like carbonated
Topo
artisanal
Chico.
water.
Topo Chico.
It's amazing.
Silly.
And what they're really smart about is that they add natural flavors to it versus anything else. So I really like them. But club soda, okay, so club soda or seltzer is literally just carbonated water. So carbonation, people go back and forth about the effect of carbonation.
Yeah.
But it is definitely, I mean, if you're someone who's salt sensitive, turn it over, look at the nutrition label, and if you see a 300 milligrams of sodium, put it back down. People don't realize tonic water
Yeah.
is typically super high in sugar
Yeah.
and super high in sodium.
wow.
So
Tonic water's almost. Yeah, I can't even speak. You hear that? Tonic water is almost salty when you taste it, though. Like
it's
just
got
straight.
that weird
It's just-
quinine.
Yeah,
But
it's
I
weird.
actually loved it and stuff. And I was drinking it when I was like back in mixing cocktails until one day I flipped it around and I was like, oh, that has 24 grams of sugar in that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I may as well drink a soda for that. So
Yeah.
tonic water is not the same, but your seltzers, your mineral waters, most of those flip it over. If you look at the nutrition label and you don't see more than a little bit of sodium, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first ingredient should be water.
Yes.
Let
Yeah.
us hope, you know.
Yeah.
So I started something this week.
Yeah.
So I pretty much just drink water.
Yeah.
I drink water.
My daughter's
I
the same,
drink
just
teas.
water.
But other than that, but I started going to this. It's a 9.5 pH balance water, alkaline water.
Alkaline waters.
So I'm trying to test that, see how
Yeah, I heard a
the
lot
difference
about
between
alkaline.
that, drinking that for a little bit, and seeing
Yeah.
how that is, because that's more going to be towards your hydration.
And muscle recovery.
Yeah. Muscle recovery. Now at my age, it's like, it takes a little time now, before you recover pretty quickly. But now I notice it takes a while. So
The gym gets more and more
Yeah.
interesting to recover from the older you get. I talk to a lot of women about post-workout because most people think that a post-workout recovery is just for gym junkies. And I'm like, you tear muscle fibers very differently at 50 than you did at 30.
And also, what's
Yeah.
your activity level and other things? Because you
Absolutely.
might tear muscle fibers getting out of bed if you have a very
Truthfully.
low
Yeah.
activity level.
Well, and the reality is for women over 50, lifting weights and lifting heavy is actually not bad. It increases your bone density. It helps to build lean muscle mass.
I think the number one thing they say to save your body from any type of osteoporosis or anything other like that is actually staying consistent with lifting some type of weight. Even if
Any
you're
kind of
doing
strength training.
Even if you're doing a little more rigorous of a body weight workout, anything, staying active, keeping your muscles active is going to be the best thing that you can do for your age and recovery going forward.
There's a lot of studies going on right now with creatine.
thank you, Dr. Hawk.
Yeah, that's awesome. With creatine.
Yeah.
There's a lot of studies in creatine in general, but there's a lot of studies with creatine in women over 50 because it's the concept then at that point is maintaining lean mass. And it actually helps with brain health. So that was actually one of our newest products that just came out was we just released a creatine supplement.
Nice.
And so super excited about trying that one. I just had started researching it before they released that. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
That's cool.
get a creatine supplement. So we have one now. I'm really excited about
Very
that.
cool. Very cool. I love to hear that.
Well, y'all have all the drinks there, but now you got the protein balls, the protein brownies, or all kinds of stuff now.
Our gal Terry has been making all kinds of stuff. She did a banana bread bar and a pumpkin one the other day.
lemon bar.
No, I'm telling you,
Pumpkin
for fall,
and lemon bars, you got me.
For fall,
Got
I
me
like.
hooked.
This is the really amazing thing about having such a creative staff is, they say you attract your tribe. So it's been very exciting because
Yeah.
everyone in there is creative.
cool.
Everyone's trying new things. We're coming up with stuff. And
That's awesome.
We're looking at protein cookies. We actually talked about that today.
I know there's
Like
a few
an
brands of them
oatmeal.
out there. They're always kind of
That's got
Black
oats in
bean.
it.
No,
No, not like that.
black bean cookie.
I'm trying to I want pumpkin spice donuts for fall.
Ooh.
So she and I are working on a donut recipe too. She's kind of our resident tester baker person. She'll try all the things.
Y'all have me in there all the time. with some
So,
pumpkin
but the
donuts.
idea is looking for healthy versions of things that
Absolutely.
people can eat that aren't necessarily bad for them. We make like a meal replacement shake. You can do that. It's diabetic friendly. We also then offer the deluxe shakes.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to be naughty, but not really naughty,
really.
this is still a meal replacement
Yeah.
shake. We still keep the add-ons within an intelligent level.
Yeah.
We still use like a sugar-free caramel or
Give you a little
sugar-free-
indulgence,
Yeah.
though.
But you feel like you're having
Yeah.
that turtle sundae
Yeah.
in a meal replacement shake.
Oh,
So
better.
that's kind of the goal.
Right on.
Our thing is to keep everything in there healthier and worthwhile, nutrient dense. So
Being very creative about it, too, which is awesome. You got to expand.
The other thing we do, if people don't want the caffeine in there, we also substitute, like, for instance, they come in, want to get a tea, and they don't want the lift off, then we can substitute that with hydration.
Yeah.
or
So that
with an
way-
immunity booster.
Yeah. Very cool.
So there's options to getting the hydration right there. Instead of wanting to get the caffeine, we can substitute that in our two different types of hydration, H3O and CR7.
We also have a green tea that a lot of our pregnant customers will switch to. So they still want so this is where that customization comes in.
Yeah.
We kind of talk about what you're looking to get and what you're looking to stay away from. So we can make that work we have a caffeine-free version that literally is a hydration green tea and an immunity booster. And you still get that, I get to have my tea.
Yeah.
And it's still
Which is great.
heart healthy for someone. I have a customer who's had multiple heart attacks. and this is something she can still have,
without affecting her.
Exactly.
Which is awesome.
So
What about like coffee? We always
I'm a
talk about
coffee
coffee.
addict.
So, everybody I know
Yeah.
drinks coffee in the morning, and we obviously, I don't think that's it has water in it, so it has to have some
is
type of.
There's a dehydrator.
Well,
Yeah.
it is. So caffeine's
diuretic.
yes, caffeine's a
Yeah.
diuretic anyway.
Yeah.
The thing is, there's actually a decent amount of research that coffee in and of itself isn't bad because there's a high level of antioxidants in there.
Mm-hmm.
A pot and a half or 2 pots of coffee
Okay. So
probably
Yeah.
won't have.
I'm good. I only like half.
You know.
Yeah.
So the idea is have the cup of coffee. Really, there's in most coffees, unless you're drinking like the bulletproof ones or the what do they call that? The Black Rifle.
Death Wish. Is the
there you go.
biggest
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Most
that
of
one
them-
is like crazy. In
Most
caffeine.
of them on average have about 80 to 100 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah.
So not weirdly crazy. The FDA has recommended a total of 400 milligrams over the course of your day. Not that anybody that I know of actually sticks to that, but that's kind of what they say is like, here's your daily consumption.
Yeah. I'm overdosing on caffeine on a daily basis.
Yeah. I can drink 1 cup of coffee a day, and that's it.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, and
Yeah, that's it.
there's a lot of people who can't drink it at all.
I chugged down
So-
that first cup, and then
I never
go and-
drink coffee
I'm
or
making mine
caffeine
immediately.
period until my late 20s. I'm sorry.
Really?
I'm talking
Oh, you're
over
good.
you.
No,
I
it's
was
fine.
talking over you. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. Once I kill the first cup of coffee, it's like off to the races, and I have my probably third one before I leave the house.
I used to be there, but hey, he's only what 28, 29?
29.
Yeah, he's
Back
still
when I
young.
was bartending, I could slam a full red line and drink a bang or 2 bangs in the course of a shift. So
I drank a full red line by accident once in a 5-minute span.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally, for the next hour and a half, thought I was going to have a heart attack.
Oh, imagine.
Yeah, I was telling him I was having a panic attack.
that's
I was
500
sweating.
milligrams of caffeine in just that little
And I was
thing.
dealing with customers, and I was like,
yeah.
I am tweaked out right now, y'all. I'm sorry. I know you can't understand what I'm saying.
Are we talking about marketing?
Yeah,
Are we talking about marketing?
marketing? Am I in the spirit world?
Yeah. Yeah, caffeine's not really my friend, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Some people find that they're more sensitive to it at different. Your body changes, men and women, hormonally, literally every few years. So it just you may be great with caffeine one time, and you may find that the next couple of years you get really super sensitive to it, and you get jittery.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
also,
Yeah,
just
that's where I'm at.
I've noticed, I guess, like cleaner caffeines too, where like something from an energy drink that'll hurt my stomach or something like that. But having a coffee doesn't really affect me like that, or
there's
tea or
very
something
different
like that.
kinds
Yeah,
of
artificial
there's-
caffeine is the thing that's killing me.
process. So let's talk about that. So your caffeine, naturally sourced caffeine, is going to come obviously from plants, and obviously the less processed it is. So our base is like our energy base is actually a tea concentrate. It's a super finely blended concentrate of like green tea, black tea, and orange poke. So that's the primary caffeine. We have a second tea that we add to our mega, which has guarana, which is another form of natural caffeine. That's only got 40 milligrams in it, but they're actually studying it right now for its effect on ADHD and mental clarity and focus.
Interesting.
So it has its very own component. And then, so when you're looking at like a Monster, that is basically anhydrous caffeine. It's pretty much a processed artificial caffeine. That's why it'll eat your stomach.
Yeah, it
Sometimes
kills my stomach when I
so
take them.
there's people don't realize, and the great thing about any form of supplementation, because that Monster is considered a supplement.
Yeah.
It's not regulated by the FDA. All forms of supplementation are not regulated by the FDA. So when you walk into anywhere,
Yeah.
technically your protein, your creatine, your whatever, doesn't matter if it's on a GNC shelf or a Walmart shelf, none of that is regulated by the FDA. And if you look at the bottom, there's actually they are required to carry a tag. This product is not regulated by the FDA. Herbalife, actually, it's been around for 44 years.
Oh yeah.
So they actually pay for third-party testing, NSF testing, rated for sport for their sports nutrition line.
Yeah.
So they do a whole bunch of testing because there is no testing out there. And they do that to basically verify what's in the containers there. So that's part of the reason why when I got involved in it, it was like I wanted to take something that was actually relatively good for me because I'd spent so many years drinking and eating a whole lot of stuff that really wasn't.
Well, a lot of those supplements and things, they have a list of what they say is in it.
Yes.
But then there's all these other trace amounts of all these other things in it because I've seen this experience with a lot of sportsmen and fighters and stuff where they get popped for something. They're like, I haven't been doing anything. They test one of their supplements and it's like, whoa, this has steroid.
That's
like
that rated.
steroid
That's
in
that
it.
rated
It's
for
crazy.
sport. Like the fact that it's rated for sport literally means that what is in that container
completely
is
legal.
to its level what it says on that. NSF testing is a third party that like tests everything.
Yeah, you always see the NFS on the
So
bottles.
that basically means that it's tested to the point where exactly what is on the label is exactly what's in it.
Yeah.
So that is where part of the problem comes in is there's literally no testing. So mass
crazy.
spectrometer is how a lot of testing is done. Like they run 18 separate tests on every product. You can turn around and you can't find that anywhere else.
No.
I think there's one other company that I know of that's starting to do more testing because people are starting to ask for it.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it's
I guess one of the other big supplement companies you hear about doing a lot of testing is On It.
well, and First Form actually.
Yeah, First
Form
Form.
is
I like
the
First
one.
Form a lot.
First Form is
Their
the
protein
one.
bars are nice.
They're the one that actually has started to routine test. Now they're newer, so they don't have nearly the
They're pretty good, though.
background and history they are. But that's definitely
They're doing their thing, which is awesome.
But 90% of what's out there literally has no one paying attention. There's nothing saying it has to contain
Yeah.
anything in it that it says it does.
Yeah.
Like
Put a
people
nice
should
little
be-
picture on there and
Right.
of a fruit. It has no fruit in it.
No,
Yeah,
people should honestly be terrified. Like you
It's
could
scary.
you could
It's very
pay
scary.
$100 for a pre-workout and it doesn't actually have to have anything in it that it says it has in it. There's no one paying attention. There's more ratings on supplementation in every other country but ours. But it is definitely a Wild West situation. So
That's pretty crazy, though.
So I can honestly say what you're getting over here I can talk about with
Confidence.
yes.
Which
And
is
to
great.
me that was
You know what you're getting in
things.
there.
Yes.
I mean, as a consumer.
And
right?
I have educated myself to make sure, and these guys are amazing. We talk about the stuff.
Yeah.
Him and Carly can both, talk to you about the products and what's in them and how that's working. So, we can.
And it's also comforting to see, some people, when they're serving things to the public, they don't care about the product that they're putting out. But to see the actual care that you guys have in the product and everything that you do there is really, really awesome. And it's comforting.
Oh, good. It's a big deal.
Yeah, you're not just slinging teas.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, and it's not just some, you're not ordering a specialized black tea and you're just throwing a Lipton bag in there. And
No. We have actually maintained the same quality since the day we opened to now. So to me, that's a big thing. We have customers who've started coming to us 6 years ago who still come to us now. So to me, that is,
Consistency. Too.
Yeah. And we've participated in the community for the last 6 years, like being involved in the things that are happening around it. And that's a big deal to
I was
me.
going to say, I always see on flyers and stuff, if there's something going on downtown, that y'all's name is almost always on there.
It's our
it's
goal.
good.
It's a big
Yeah.
thing.
But we're also not afraid to show you how we make our teas.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
have
it's
an
not like
open-
you're
I
going
have an
behind
opening.
a box to do it. Yeah.
You're more than welcome to watch what we
Yeah.
put in there. Ask questions. Hey, what goes in my tea?
Yeah,
Please.
yeah, and it's not like you're gonna go.
Yeah, we're not gonna
let
be
me,
like,
let me
well, it's
see
tea.
what's in your tea.
Hold on, let's.
We'll
Yeah.
hand it over the counter. You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
literally, you can look at the nutrition label on our product. I designed the bar so that it has an opening. So
No, you sit right there and you can see everything you
Literally-
grab, everything you're blending in. And so,
I want
no, that's
you,
cool.
but I want you to educate yourself on it. I want you to ask questions because to me, you should know what you're putting in your body.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
you
It
don't
shows
get,
you
you don't
care,
get to
too.
have that.
It does show you.
I mean,
care.
when you go to McDonald's or you don't get to know what you're putting in your body. Like,
Special meat.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I
Who
think
knows
that
what
it's,
is?
I think that
Kangaroo,
that's,
rat. What do we know?
Yeah, you don't even know.
I mean, so yeah, so that's our goal. Our goal is to educate people on what's actually in it because there is a difference.
Oh yeah,
So yeah,
I love it.
Well,
Yeah.
that's hydration.
Hydration, and
Yeah. and we do have multiple.
you're still not
options,
doing
guys.
great at this. All right.
No, I
you're
know.
still not doing great.
No,
We
like
need to
today,
get you,
I was like, whoa.
yeah, yeah.
So
we need to get you
do
on
know,
this.
like, for if you had a heat stroke, you're bound and easily to get another one.
You are.
No, yeah, I know.
sick.
Like today, I was like not doing as much. I was moving a bunch of, once working again, working outside.
So everybody,
And
y'all
I
see
didn't
Bubba.
feel-
If y'all see Bubba around out there, everyone, I need everybody in on this.
Yeah.
If you see Bubba around out there, you better get on him about drinking some damn water.
Yeah.
Nah.
Well,
Tell 'em to go get a
you're-
hydration
you're
at Peak
significantly
Nutrition.
more.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what they're
susceptible.
telling me.
Okay,
yeah, so-
good.
so-
I'm glad they told you that because
Yeah.
that's a lot of people don't know that.
But see, I need to go mow tomorrow.
Okay,
No, I'm
so
just kidding. But mow in the morning. I know. I get it all.
No, I mean, drink you a bottle of water before you go.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about dehydration. As much as you sweat out, is how much water you need to put in plus more. Mm-hmm. So whenever you had did you have any of the symptoms before, like a rash, cramp?
I don't.
Or did it just go straight to?
He doesn't remember it either, though.
no, but I,
completely.
you know, the fact that he mentioned that he wasn't sweating, and that was after day one. Now that's actually a key indicator of like moderate dehydration. That's not even mild. Most people won't catch the symptoms of mild dehydration. It's a little bit of dry mouth. Most people blow it off because we're tough, we're fine. Mild headache,
Being a
little bit of
little tired.
dizziness, fatigue. Those are all
Yeah.
like the early symptoms. When you start to get to the stuff that's like higher up the food chain on that, most of the time you won't remember it. You're going to have slurred speech, be confused. You're not going to know what's going on. So unless someone's been watching you, when I had mine, I happened to have people who were with me who were like, okay, you're slurring your speech. You're not making any sense. Something's wrong here. And they knew I was outside and sweating all day. So they immediately, this is, almost 15 years ago now, popped a Gatorade and started, slamming me full of that because that was the only thing they could think of at the time.
Yeah, that's
better
what they
than
did.
nothing.
Pedialyte for me. I get
better than nothing, yeah.
I'll tell people though too, if you know you're going to go out and mow tomorrow and you don't have access to anything else, go grab a couple bottles of Smart Water. The Smart Water has electrolytes in it. So that is being able to, like, if you don't want all the dry mouth of Gatorade, Smart Water literally has the same things that Gatorade has in it, but in water.
What about core water?
I would imagine so. If you see electrolytes on it, now mind you, again with the whole FDA supplementation thing, there's no good way to know how much electrolytes are in there, but it's better than, and if you know you're going to go do something that's going to take a lot out of you, I'd rather see you do a water with electrolytes in it than just a plain water without. So just grab a couple waters that have that in it already, drink them, tomorrow morning before you get started, and that's going to help a lot.
Or swing by and see Stuart.
Yeah,
That's right.
Absolutely.
You get
And-
that
and
Bubba special.
That's
This
right.
is- Do you wear a hat?
Yes, I do actually.
Okay, good. Because that's one of the things people forget is that having the sun beat down on your head is also not necessarily.
Yeah, if I'm working out in the yard and stuff.
Okay,
I usually have a
great.
cap
That's at
on.
least a start there.
Yeah.
Pickle juice is another thing because
Oh yeah, I drank pickle juice that day too. I used to
sounds
drink
good.
pickle juice all the time.
I love pickles.
when my daughter played when she played travel ball during the summer,
Cramps.
That's amazing for
the
cramps.
what are they called? You go buy a drink or whatever.
Oh, the
Bar?
concession stand. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they would sell pickle shots.
Oh yeah.
Frozen water with pickle.
Yeah.
Flavor. So.
Yeah. Yeah, they got the pickle juice
It's got
bars.
it's
and
got the
everything.
sodium, the sugars in it, and it's good. It's just good little bam. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you'll know if you. I mean, y'all are probably. How old are you, Bubba?
51.
Okay, so we're relatively the same age. I have started to notice that leg cramps, and that's kind of something that, even though I'm well hydrated, that was something that just kind of recently popped up, hormonal change wise. But pickle juice, 5 minutes,
Nice.
literally
Yeah.
5 minutes, and it's gone. That is something people don't realize. That's a fast way to do it. If you're somebody who potassium is also something that people tend to, magnesium, potassium, we tend to be low on just in general walking
iodine.
around.
Yeah,
Huge.
see, Tina, she's listening. She said she's going to start flavoring her water.
There you go.
Yay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
see?
Absolutely.
That's all we needed. We were waiting for someone to comment
Absolutely.
that was listening and was going to take some advice. So that's it, folks. That's our show.
That's our show. Good night.
We're happy.
But it is time to, we've been on here for about an hour now or getting close.
there.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a good one though. I think y'all gave us some great information, and I think y'all also made maybe if people didn't 100% know what y'all were about over there, you kind of gave them a little shout.
Yeah, a
out.
little bit more in depth. It's not
Yeah.
just, I think, sometimes
Not just
people-
like a smoothie place.
We're just
you know,
like
that
I
what
do.
people
Yeah, that's
might
what I was
think
about to
you are,
say.
you
Not
know?
just
Yeah.
some little
We
smoothie
have
place.
people who either come in thinking we're like Smoothie King or GNC.
Yeah.
So it gets a little confusing sometimes. So, but we've gotten really good at being able to direct traffic too. Like we'll tell you what we're about, but if what you're looking for is a wheatgrass shot, we're going to direct you to Green Market. If what you're looking for is like a supplement store, we can direct you to Underground Nutrition. Like there's places that we can.
And that's cool too.
You know,
that y'all
it's like being the
do
welcome
that.
wagon.
Well,
Come on in, we'll tell you.
We all
where to go.
got to scratch each other's backs. That's how the community works around here. So
We have a little small business corner. So if anybody hasn't been in there, if you happen to have a small business
Yeah,
in
it's
this
all
town,
right there.
you can put your business cards out there. And we've done that literally since day one too.
Awesome.
Because it's, I mean, that's a whole world in and of itself.
Well,
yeah.
and you're always.
Oh, yeah.
I look at it every time I'm waiting on a drink. I just look at there and you just scan through those every time. You never
have
know.
people
I've
pick
picked
up
up a
card.
card
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
I had someone get a house cleaner today. They went and grabbed a house cleaner card.
Nice.
So it's.
I might need that. Shoot, with a new baby, it's
Yeah.
hard
Oh,
to
I
keep
can
the
only
house
imagine.
clean.
Yeah. So I mean, that's just one of those things. We try to find. We do Christmas, the 12 days of business, every December. Well, you know, we were trying to do one for July, but man, we just ran out of time.
And y'all always seem to have something specials or
We're
deals
trying,
and stuff
yes.
going on. So that's really awesome too. You know.
And how can people reach y'all online?
Okay. Well, if they can go to Facebook, and we are Peak Nutrition Denison,
Mm-hmm.
we should be pretty easy to find. Google, if you Google Peak Nutrition or even Nutrition Clubs Denison, we're going to pop up right there in the top. Our phone number is all over the place. We don't really have like a website per se outside of
No, if you have Facebook, everybody goes to Facebook
Yeah.
anyways. Just as long
We're
as
on
you can get the
Instagram
content.
as Peak Nutrition NTX. So
Awesome.
I don't really. I'm still trying to learn TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm kind
Yeah,
of
that's a weird one
behind
still, don't they?
on TikTok.
Yeah,
so.
China,
Chinese
we're all
spyware.
there. But you're right here in downtown Denison, so
So, and we're right behind the park. I think people sometimes get a little confused as to where we are.
across the street from the hotel,
Literally.
right down the street from Podcast on Main.
Yeah,
right.
like literally kitty corner. I didn't realize you guys could see us from there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right
That's
there.
real cool.
Yeah.
On
That's
the
pretty cool.
same street as Heritage Park,
Yes.
not Love Park.
Not Friendship Park.
Friendship Park. That's what you said. See, I'm messing it up
Yeah.
now.
34 Chop House, all right here.
All right here.
We're gonna start
Yeah.
doing flashlight
Love
like
park.
Morse code.
Yeah. Just
You guys
click
out
over
the
to
window.
us. Yeah. That's when we know our drinks are ready.
We're like, hey, PS.
Hey, we appreciate y'all so much.
Yes. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you guys.
And remember,
Appreciate it.
get on Bubba if you see him.
Yeah.
Hey,
Drink your water.
Need 'em
And if
hydrated.
if you see him walking around in a circle, someone call.
Yeah, if he's talking about the spirit realm or marketing,
Yeah.
you might want to call cops.
We're out on that one. See y'all later. Thanks, Stuart. Thanks.
So